Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Karthus game. Let's get this show on the road. Which one? And man, oh man, do I really miss playing Karthus. You know, I used to spam Jungle Karthus a bunch in earlier seasons when people would actually rage at me for it, but now he's basically standard as a jungler. Times have changed and admittedly I'm late to the party for picking him back up, so in a situation like this, it's good that I have UGG to look up the current builds for Karthus and get back into playing him easier than just winging it. With UGG, you can look up the builds for champions across all divisions, the builds pros take, and even how the build evolves through the phases of the game. This is an obvious help to anyone trying to learn a new champion or rediscover their love for one. You can even look up how a champion is performing in different regions as well. Better yet, you can even look up specific matchups for each champion and figure out if it's a good idea to pick Udyr into Nunu. Spoiler alert, it's not. Alrighty then, so let's get the show on the road. So, basic start, kind of. I start red, immediately head to blue, and then just clear my way down. Essentially, I was a little afraid of Gragas getting me in his, fat titties, so I just kind of tried to avoid him. And I also wanted to kill bottom lane because, I had a Fiddlesticks who might get fear early on. So, clear to level 4, get really quickly, go down bottom. Nami is in such a bad position, super easy to catch her. I missed my first Q, but the next one nails her. So, I want a small spoiler alert. There is one person in this team who is really bad. It basically brings the team down for a whole bunch of the game. And no, it's not me, although I will say some of my Qs will make you go, Stonewall, why? Well, why? I haven't played Karthus in a while. Just got me some slack. Anyways, I'm also using a skin for Karthus that is a little bit thematically weird, I think. It's just kind of weird, it's kind of weird that he would have this. Anyways, I love this kill here because I only get the mana to kill her because of a choice level up. Boom! That was really lucky. Thank you, minions. Anyways, yeah, Lightbringer Karthus. It's like, is this supposed to be evil or is it supposed to be like a good skin? I don't actually know. Plus, it doesn't have any, metal sounds when you do some of your, what you call it, emotes, so I'm pretty sure it's still missing some stuff, but Riot doesn't care. Anyways, go back down to gank bottom. Fiddlesticks does a really bad move, I think, but it doesn't really matter anyways. We killed the Ashe. We almost killed the Nami, kind of. I believe I missed 2 Qs because I suck. So, I also managed to steal blue. This Gragas is just kind of being, controlled right now. It's pretty good for me, right? Anyways, if you want to see a really sad scene, I go in, it's flash to try to catch the Orianna, miss my first Q, miss my next one, just terrible mouse control, still get the kill, so technically it worked out, kind of. So, yay. My bottom lane gets themselves a kill too, because I believe Fiddlesticks reached level 6 and was able to do some shenanigans. Right now, again, my clearing is phenomenal. Because my momentum just hasn't been stopped. I got myself 3 kills. I got myself 2 good core items. Although apparently some people forego getting Sorcerer's Boots so early because as Karthus you're just kind of, hanging out, not really doing very much. But so far, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Fiddlesticks goes in, doesn't achieve very much, and I still do get the Nami kill because look at that Q damage. It's so delicious. Again, I used to play Karthus a whole bunch in the past. Also, God, I hate doing Scuttle as Karthus or as any champion, really. So yeah, I used to play him a whole ton back before he even got his visual update, and it was so fun. He's debatably the fastest jungler that ever lived without any gimmicks, having the elixirs and whatnot. So it's pretty good that he still has that incredible speed, of course, at the expense of basically everything else, like sustain and survivability and, reliability. But still, nice to be able to play him because it's just so fun being able to kill people from across the map and artificially increase your score and make your ego go up 10 stories high. It's just pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I kind of should have bought a Magi's. I'm thinking about it, but I didn't. But that was a terrible ultimate by Fiddlesticks, and my teammates get killed, and the beginning of our problems are starting to crop up. I think you'll start noticing something here. I actually did not enable alt chat yet because I forgot. Right now the patch is doing this weird thing that you have to re-enable alt chat in your replays. However, though, if you could only see alt chat, you would see that people laughed like crazy at how bad my Qs were here, and the fact that I chose to chase Nami instead of finishing off the Gragas, therefore not finishing off anybody since I didn't have my ultimate. That was really sad of me. you can laugh in the comments below and tell me, Stonewall, work on your Qs or you'll be QQing all day. Terrible joke. On the other hand, I get an easy kill on Swain, which is going to see me coming in here, and he died. I also get to steal a red buff. Yay! So, it's not too bad. I slow down Gragas just to prevent him from using his ultimate, although it probably wouldn't matter because Orianna died anyways, and then I steal his chickens from right under him. So, pretty good so far. The CS difference between the junglers is high. Obviously, the kill difference is high. Then we get ourselves another Gragas kill anyway, so it's going really well. Then I use my ultimate, nuke some people, but it doesn't really amount to much because my teammates are super weak, and the Vayne gets killed. Again, that's kind of a worry right now, as you can see that despite the fact that I'm doing well, or at least I'm getting a lot of kills, well is subjective. Missing a couple of your Qs is fine. If only Karthus wasn't so reliant on hitting them. Anyways, yeah, a lot of the kills are concentrated on me, and the rest of my team is kind of floundering in their respective positions. Yasuo's mostly just holding off the base. Go in, do some damage. I probably shouldn't have kept my E going because it just destroyed my mana, but I kind of forgot to toggle that off. A good Orianna ultimate gets 2 of my teammates, but it doesn't amount to much because I do a lot of damage, and the other 2 of them, well, not Swain, but Gragas hesitated to go in immediately, so it didn't work out. Fiddlesticks gets a really terrible ultimate in, basically accomplishing nothing there. I do some Q chunks, hitting for a lot of damage, but of course, this might be foreboding to you, because I can do a lot of damage, but there's seemingly nothing that can be done in response from my teammates. So, anyways, yeah, I was debating what item to finish first here. And ended up finishing the book instead of, the death cap, which I probably should have finished first, because the amount of damage I'm doing to them is absurd right now. There, by the way, I tried to see if I could get some other kills, and I just kind of killed the Nami as an afterthought, because she was just, happened to be super low. It's kind of fun when you do that as Karthus. And one of the most fun things in the past in the jungle was when you were a Karthus and you ulted to kill somebody, and just the low health jungler somewhere in their jungle died to it. Like if you were fighting against an Olaf, you might just sometimes get a sneaky kill on his low ass, because he used to have to jungle with super extremely low health in order to even do it properly. So it was kind of funny just getting an accidental kill on him. And then here I get grabbed by the Swain. I flash on top of them, maybe trying to get a cheeky kill off them. But now my damage ain't that high yet. I should have thought better. And then here you can see me try to toggle on the all chat, because at this point a lot of all chat should have been activated, but none of it was going through, so I activated it now just in case something else happened. I also want to point out a few things from my team that's making this a little bit harder. The Fiddlesticks has a 40% win rate on his champion, and he seemingly tries to force this pick. And, no offense to people who really like playing like this, but it puzzles me. There are players who really want to do something like, I want to get to, high elo playing only X weird champion in this position. I know the novelty of that is great, but if you're not doing well in it, you can't just force it to happen. Because the Fiddlesticks' levels aren't all that great in terms of abilities, and he's not performing all too well, so we're kind of being held back by it, alongside the Tom also just kind of suiciding everywhere. By the way, I love this because the Ashe totally takes me down, but then, just 2 Qs and she basically exploded, so all it's going to take is a misstep from the enemy team into one of my landmines, and they're going to explode. So that's pretty good so far, at least so far for me. But yeah, right now my team is suffering from essentially lack of unity. One of the things you don't get to see from this chat here, mostly because it wasn't in all chat, is that my teammates, 3 of them, were constantly fighting with each other before the game even started, mostly because they did not like the champion picks they were taking. The Tom didn't like the Fiddlesticks support, the Fiddlesticks didn't like the Tom, and then the Vayne was just eating crayons. So it was kind of a bad start. By the way, I love this fight here because I'm at the outskirts and I just simply can't get in there. I'm throwing Qs as much as possible, but they burn a lot of crowd control and are far away from me, so I pop my ultimate in battle rather than after I die, and absolutely giga destroy the enemy team with that damage. It was beautiful. Obviously 2 people survived, but it dealt enough damage to scare the living hell out of them. Then we go to Baron, but I was refusing to do this, and my teammates kind of just coerced me into it, And it ended up being an extremely bad idea because the Vayne used her knockup to save the Ashe, because, you know, that's what pro Vaynes do. And as a result, we lost all footing we had in the map. And we obviously are not champions who can stop a push safely, because if we try to do that, we're going to get turdoven, I guess, and destroyed. So I'm just kind of hanging about. And I do get a good kill off there. And then I get dropped, but they decide, you know, just kind of fight on top of me, so I do a crap ton of damage to them, and I also pick up two other people, so that's pretty good. It's a good turnabout from a really bad situation. Right now, I'm super giga fed, but again, all the kills being concentrated on me is not exactly the best thing in this game, so I would have preferred also a difference in builds. Right now, the Tom, you can see he's doing pretty interesting in this game. Also, I do want to make sure, since you couldn't see it early in the game because the alt chat wasn't working, the Tom did say in alt chat, lol, you guys picked 4 AP champions against Tom. So, you know, I think he's sort of eating his own words at this point. Anyways, Fiddlesticks decides to throw his life away with a really pointless ultimate, and which kind of puts us in a really bad spot. I get chunked down a lot. I'm forced to retreat. I don't know what the Vayne. She can't really do much here to defend this. She's just kind of hanging out, and you can kind of see what I mean. This is sort of spiraling out of incredible animosity towards each other, a lack of communication, or at least positive communication. No semblance of what the team really wants to do, and the Tom thinking he is somehow a godly player because he goes in to try to kill the Ashe, and it's like even the Ashe without help at this point has enough items to just sort of cut you to death. So that was just him throwing his life away, which once again makes us lose our entire position. They go for a dragon, but we don't really have the means to kill it fast enough without getting, you know, trapped. So I put myself in a bad position because I kind of thought we were going to fight this, which was a bad decision on my part from the get-go, but also just a bad read from the team because we're not really coordinated, and as a result, you can see what happened. We lose even more footing. Basically, my momentum this game meant nothing. We lost a lot of position, we lost a lot of map control, and at this point, everyone was just kind of dying. They took the Baron for the tower, and obviously the Baron at this point is a lot better. So, again, I'm just trying to farm up as quickly as possible. Get more items, become a murderous bastard. My best bet is just to win the fight in one swift blow with my ultimate, hopefully. Though my teammates, again, are super scattered everywhere. They're getting picked off, chunked down, to the point where we really can't mount up any kind of defense. The only real hope we have is the enemy team dying on top of me and me getting a really good ultimate. But the chances of that happening are super low. Cough, cough. Anyways, again, just trying to make myself as powerful as a landmine. Also, I'm sure you've noticed I had Hourglass this entire time. And it's kind of harder to use it on Karthus, only because I don't notice when I'm already dead. Because when you die, you just kind of fade to blue. So I just don't notice, and I kind of should have used it a lot sooner a lot of times, but yeah. Anyways, Tom got killed, Yasuo got killed, Vayne is in an awful position, and obviously she's gonna get killed. Fiddlesticks and I can't obviously defend this, so we just kind of run for our lives. We're so in the defensive. Kind of sad, because we had a really cool lead at the start. So, yeah. Anyways, as the build I'm taking is kind of to mostly maximize damage. At this point, I thought, you know, I'm not making good use of the hourglass. Maybe I should sell it and buy myself something else. Anyways, we get into another really interesting team fight because my ultimate just gets to absolutely destroy them. And then the response from me flashing in to try to kill Orianna just shows that my Qs are depressing as hell. And she survives. She gets a triple kill on us. If only Tom was there, but nah. Anyways, back to the drawing board. It wasn't the worst loss because we were already losing a lot, and that kind of showcased that we could possibly win these fights if we, you know, fight to our maximum potential and don't go for Baron by ourselves. But yeah, now the enemy makes a not a desperate push, a really brazen push with their Baron in order to end this. So now You know, we're in that situation, a do or die situation. Fiddlesticks goes in with an absolutely garbage ultimate and absolutely does nothing and dies, putting us in an extremely awkward position where we didn't know if we should even fight that, which causes our entire team to collapse. So now you're trying to figure out, so Stonewall, who was the worst player in your team that you sort of, try to say in the beginning? Well, it was everybody, including me. I miss all my cues. But yeah, it was a nightmare game. And thankfully it's over, but at least I got to play Karthus, which is always fun. Yay. Kind of, sort of, maybe. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.